if my screen is visible. Can you guys hear me well?
Yes, always, always.
Okay, great. I'm still waiting for others to join, guys. We have still two, three members pending. Meanwhile, we'll quickly have a look what we have done in our last session. Guys, I have been requesting you not to complete your practical or not to wait for your practical till last moment, like Friday night. It becomes very difficult for me to check and then give feedback and then you rework. So we have in between we have whole week. Please make sure you complete your practical in on weekdays itself, so it becomes easier for me to check. Right? As of now, I'll simply pick any random machine and we'll quickly check. One thing is happening. I have observed that you guys are doing practical very late, so then it becomes confusing that which practical were you performing. So from now on, by default, I will give you the tags, and one of the tag will be task number. So we have done two tasks as of now. Whichever task I assign today, it will be task number three. So you can put task number here and three here. So it becomes easy for me to just understand or just to know that which task have you performed. I don't have to ask you. Right? This is what we are going to do from today onwards. Though I'll be mentioning that uh, in the build sheet as well, that you have to have one tag with the task number. Right. People are still joining. Meanwhile, let's quickly have a look at this. I'm presuming that this is for task number two. So if I go to this machine, meanwhile, guys, do you have any questions, any doubts, anything? Please do ask. While I'm checking this, I can check this simultaneously. And so you had to create a machine subscription. You had to select your own. You had to select your resource groups. I'm checking Nagma's machine. She has selected her own resource group. Subscription is there. Availability is set. I asked not to select any. Can you guys tell me quickly where can I check whether this machine is a part of availability zone, availability set, or no redundancy? Where can I check that? Any idea? Any guesses? I assigned you a homework that I wanted a machine without redundancy. Nagma has created. Now I want to check whether there is any redundancy selected or not. So where can I
Uh,
check that?
is this the availability plus scaling option? I'm not sure. I'm just guessing.
Yes, that is the one. Under size, do you see availability? So here you will see if this machine is a part of any availability zone, then you will see the zones here. If this machine is a part of a scaling set, which we haven't covered yet, but place is same. You will come here and you will come to know that this machine is a part of this scaling set. If this machine is a part of any availability set, you will be able to see it here. So if nothing is there, which means this machine is has been created with no redundancy option, which is correct, the one which I asked you to. Presuming this is task 2, I asked you to create with operating system either, uh, let me check, I think it was 20. I asked not to use 19, yes, 12 or 22. I asked to use 12 or 22. So if I look at this machine, she has used 22, which is again correct. Then I asked you to use two hard two data disk. If I go here, two data disk, yes, two of them were used, but now I'm not sure if this disk was attached separately or she created it. So let's quickly check. Yeah, what did I do, guys? I created disk for all of you. As a part of task, what I asked you to do is create a machine, create your own create your own machine, create your own disk, and along with that, attach an existing disk. And that disk, I have prepared a disk for all of you with your own name. So if Nagma was creating the machine, she should have selected this disk as an existing disk, which she has done. How do I know? Look at this. Her machine name is appearing here. I see people have created their own disk, they have done something else, right? But I can see here that she has selected this disk and it is attached to her machine. And how do I know that this is the same disk which I have created and she has not created with the same name? Very basic thing. You can't create two disks with the same name. The another thing, resource group. My disk, the one which I created for you guys, it is a part of disk's resource group. I created a separate resource group with this name, disk. right? And the one which she has created, no matter how many disks she created, though these many were not required, but all those disks are in her own resource groups, her own resource group, right? And the one which I have created, it is in my resource group, the one which I created, and I can see she has connected that disk. These disks, maybe she created machine and deleted the machine, and disk are not yet deleted or detached the machine, so disk are still lying there. I hope you can see the difference. Disk which are attached to a machine, you can see the machine name here, owner of that disk. Okay, sorry, it is nothing but this is your machine's name. So this part is clear. The next one was we asked to take a snapshot of password, etc. She has done that. I saw one error message. Remember one thing, guys, you can run this command only when machine is in running mode. If machine is stopped, you can't run any command. This one, if you want to check net user, etc., look at this. It clearly says you must start the virtual machine in order to run the command, and it gives you option here also. Once the machine is up and running, then only you can run any command, right? So all in all, it looks good. 1 p.m. auto shutdown time I had shared without any notification. So again, it is correct. But one thing, 1 p.m. what time, guys?
The
1
India
p.m.
time.
IST, it's different, and 1 p.m. this universal time it's different. 1 p.m. universal time will be 6:30 p.m. IST. So this is sort of incorrect, right? But I'm okay with it as of now because at least you guys know the options. ठीक है, time zone ये छोटा error है. But it is very essential. See, I want my machine to be shut down at 1 p.m. IST. India के 1 बजे मुझको बंद करना है because my people are working from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Let's say it's a school monitor or school machine. 12 p.m. everyone will be gone. इसलिए 1 घंटे का बफर टाइम रखा है and I'm saying कि 1 p.m. बंद हो जाना चाहिए. So I'm not being billed for that. But now because of your mistake, it will shut down at 6:30 p.m. So I'll be paying extra for those 5 hours unnecessarily where I'm not even using this machine. This is how it can impact. Now this is ahead of time. ठीक है, इसलिए यहाँ पर एरर का जो है इशू, एरर का आउटकम, इट्स ओनली मॉनिटरी. चलो आपको 4-5 दिन में पता भी चल गया, यू चेंज्ड इट, 4-5 दिन का बिल चला गया, क्लाइंट विल नॉट बी दैट पिस्ड, इट्स ओके. बट इंस्टेड ऑफ सेलेक्टिंग यूएसटी, इफ यू डोंट फोकस ऑन टाइम जोन, अगर आपने कोई ऐसा टाइम जोन सेलेक्ट कर लिया होता जो हमसे पीछे है, राइट? एंड इफ आई सेलेक्ट, if I tell you 1 p.m. IST and if you select some time zone which is behind us, तो आपने 1 p.m. वो सिलेक्ट कर लिया, इंडिया में 10 बज रहे होंगे, वहां पर ऑलरेडी 1 p.m. हो चुका होगा, राइट? एंड देन योर मशीन विल बी शट डाउन. कोई काम कर रहा है, किसी का अनसेव्ड वर्क है, आपका मशीन अपने आप शट डाउन हो जाएगा. They won't have any option to stop that, nothing. Your data can be unsaved, data loss हो सकता है, कोई ऑर्डर कर रहा है वो लॉस हो सकता है. There can be many replication and that is a production error, right? Client will not tolerate that. Right? So it is very essential to make sure you select the same time which is given in your build sheet. Rest everything looks good in this machine, so I'm going to delete it. One more thing, guys, I told you do not come here और यहाँ से इसको delete मत करना. When you delete it from here, you are leaving many options. You are just deleting OS disk. You are leaving public IP as it is. You're leaving network interface as it is, data disk as it is. And when you leave when you leave public IP, what does it mean? It means that you are still using this public IP and your subscriptions, right? Your subscriptions, they do have a quota of your public IP. So if there's a quota of 3 and you're done with your practical, you have just deleted the virtual machine but not the public IP. So other person will not be able to create a machine with public IP. Okay? Similarly, that applies to virtual CPU. Right? If you don't delete your machine, your virtual CPU is being used as it is, and no one else will be able to create another machine post your quota. If it is 4, 5, maybe no one will be able to create the sixth machine. Hence, it is essential to delete virtual machine, but not only virtual machine. If you delete virtual machine, तो ठीक है, आपका virtual CPU का quota तो free हो गया. But what about public IP? You are still holding on to that quota. So it's always better you go to your resource group. Now look at this. She has extra disk, right? So it's always better you come here, select all, click on delete, click on apply. type delete here and then delete. This will delete everything from your resource group. And at least next person will have an option to go ahead and create something. Is this part clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, great. Nice work though. It was created very neatly. Okay. Any doubts, any
Uh,
questions, guys, on any other topic? While I'm quickly
yes.
checking this one, we
Hi,
are not going to
Sohail.
discuss
Vishnu this
this.
side.
Yes, Vishnu.
Hey, hi, Sohail. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are. Tell me.
Yeah. So, the option which you selected to remove the machine and related resources. So, in general practice, we follow the same one or how? Because in the actual scenario, we will have multiple machines, VMs in the same resource group, right?
Right.
So, this method only we need to follow
No,
or
no, no, you won't. No, not this method. But yes, you will have to follow this approach that if you're deleting one machine, you'll have to delete it, public IP and etc. related to this. But what you can do in that manner is you can go to that resource group, okay, and search with this name. Let's say now you have multiple, so search with this name and all related
okay,
resources which you
okay,
see, you'll have to select them and delete them. By the way,
okay.
this is just starting. I'm showing you GUI, graphical
Hmm.
user interface, right? Most of the time in real time, you will not be coming to this portal and deleting or creating anything. Maximum time you will be using scripts, which you will see. We are going to cover that how to create a machine using script, how to delete a machine using script, how to create something using script. And that is how
Okay.
you do it in your actual environment. But why am I doing it here? Now look, let me quickly go here and let me create a machine using script. If I do that on day one, if I create a machine using script on day one, trust me, you won't even understand anything. Script में इतना
Right,
basic लिखा
right,
होता है,
right.
right? That is the reason we
Correct.
are not doing it. But what will happen when you actually go to your portals, when you actually go working, you will be using script. But before we go there, we need to understand the GUI part. Okay, now if I go ahead and just, okay, I'm typing the username here. It is asking what username do you want and what password do you want. Look at this, guys. It's done. In few minutes, you'll see my machine, right?
Correct.
But if we start doing that from right now, I can give you the script और मैं आपको बोल सकता हूँ कि यार do one thing, यहाँ पे आप अपना VM डाल दो, ये कर दो. But will you understand anything? No. So it's
No, no,
always a better
definitely no.
idea to start from here. Why? Because when you start clicking here next one by one, when you click on create virtual machine, right? So even if you don't know something, right? Even if you don't know something, you will see it here and you will ask question कि यार ये क्या है? What is this? Why
Right.
is this here? ये यहाँ पर ये क्यों है? ये यहाँ पर ये क्यों है? Maybe I'll tell you कि forget it, leave it. This is not important. Right? I may tell you कि इसको हम ignore करते हैं, leave it. But at least now you will know कि इस तरह के options होते हैं and I will not
होते
tell
हैं.
you for every option. काफी options ऐसा हो गया where you will ask and I'll explain it to you. Okay, इससे ये होता है, so वो होता है. Now, if you start doing it using uh, PowerShell script, you will never come to know कि यहाँ पर enable shutdown का कोई option होता भी है, because that is not
Right,
an
right.
essential thing, right? But when you go to
True.
production, तब आप script से ही करने वाले हो, चाहे delete हो चाहे create हो. But by the time you do that, जब तक हम PowerShell पे आते हैं, I'm sure you guys will know it कि आप क्या कर रहे हो background में, right? Even if you run a script, an image will run in your mind. That is the aim. एक इमेज आपके माइंड में रन होनी चाहिए. ओके, व्हेन आई हैव रिटन अ स्क्रिप्ट और आई एम रनिंग अ स्क्रिप्ट जो मेरे आर्किटेक्ट ने लिख कर दी है. सो इफ आई एम रनिंग दैट स्क्रिप्ट, क्या हो रहा है? It is going here, it is selecting a resource group, it is giving a machine name, it is selecting this one, it is selecting an operating system. ये सब हो रहा है बैकग्राउंड में. This should be your understanding. Got it?
Correct. Yeah, yeah. Clear.
Okay. So here it is. Look at this. It got created also. My machine is
Right.
up and running. It got created. In the same subscription, in this resource group, my machine got created. See, I didn't have to do anything. Simply, I had to just run one small script. Right? And this is how you guys will be doing it. बस आपको नाम वगैरह चेंज करना होगा. Similar for delete also. तो वहां पर डोंट वरी, ये नहीं होने वाला आपके साथ कि यार आपने कोई गलती से कुछ और डिलीट कर दिया. right? That won't happen unless you type something. Let's say if I give you a script that you have to delete something, in that delete I have given you name my VM 001. And similarly, I have 20 VMs like this. Okay, I have 002, 3, 4, 5, etc. So now instead of 001, you typed 010 in the script. Then it is your error. Then other machine will get deleted. Otherwise, if you stick to your machine name, etc. in the script, then there is no way that you're clicking here and there and it gets deleted. That won't happen. Right? So don't worry about it. But it's good question, good observation. You will have one resource group and multiple resources in that. So you won't have that liberty which I do now. For example, now I'm deleting the resource group. You will not be able to do that in your production environment. What next thing what I do, I go to resource group and I delete everything. I select everything and I delete everything. You will not have this liberty to do. So you'll have to select. You will see, obviously you'll see a common name something. If your machine's name is Zareen in this case, look at this. What is your public IP's name? Zareen. What is your NSG name? Zareen. What is your virtual network name? Zareen. ठीक है, ये सारा नाम यहाँ से कहीं ना कहीं से connected होता है. Got it? Plus, it's not
No,
necessary that all the time you will use it. Now, whenever we start our networking topic, you will realize that virtual network is not something you create every time with a new machine. Virtual network is something you created once. In fact, most of the time, people who are actually coming with 5 or 6 years of experience, they have not built a virtual network. Why? Because virtual network वगैरह बहुत starting में बन जाते हैं, you just reuse them. So even if you have to delete, you don't have to delete all the resources. Public IP is something you you don't have to delete. You can pick it from here and assign it to some other machine also. That's what I have been doing. Right? When Nagma was complaining she didn't have public IP, Danish was saying he didn't have public IP. I removed it from someone else's machine. I assigned it to someone else's machine. So you don't even have to delete every time in production environment. ठीक है, but that depends on your request. जो भी request आता है that you have to delete the machine but preserve the IP or VNet तो वैसे ही कभी आप delete नहीं करते हो. But as of now we have not covered VNet, so we'll go ahead and delete everything. Okay. Yes, guys. Any other questions? Any other doubts? Yes, guys. Yes, no, maybe.
no.
What about others other than Vishnu? Guys, what happened? Any doubts? Any questions?
I think when we will add the tag on the VM level, so all the respective thing will also get the same tag, right? So that
Yes.
we can sort out. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, yes, you can do that also. You can sort from the tag that how many resources, but tag will not work because there will be many common tags. For example, company name, not only this machine, other machines will also have the same company name. तो वो उतना ये होता नहीं, but the logic is correct. There will be some unique tag. For example, this machine, uh, if I, which we are going to start from next practical, if I had given you a task, if I had given you that you have to add a tag called task number and 3. Now this gets added to all of the resources. Then you can go ahead and filter that what all resources do I have from task number 3 and you can delete it. Approach is correct. Okay. Fine, guys. Then if you do not have any any issues, any concerns, any questions, let's go ahead and start with the new topic. Let me delete it meanwhile. This is correct, though. Okay, so I'll quickly delete it. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, I've started deleting that. Now, what have we done? We have created a machine. Let's go ahead and again create a machine. I don't think so. I have a resource group. I'll create a new one. Becomes easier to delete. I'm just taking any random name. I just want to see what all options have we covered. Meanwhile, guys, if you have any questions, any doubts, please feel free to ask. This one we have not yet covered, part of networking. but always select all of them. This is helping you to take your RDP. If you miss on this, your RDP will not work. Okay, so as far as I remember, we have covered this section completely. Do you guys have any doubts on this? How to attach a disk, how to create a disk, how to attach an existing disk? Any doubts, any questions? Yes, no, maybe.
So far clear, sir.
Okay, let's go ahead. Networking, we are going to do that later. Management. As of now, in management, auto shutdown is uh, more than enough for you to understand, right? Backup, etc. We're going to cover separately. System assign a managed identity. This will be covered separately because this is not related to only virtual machine. This is a separate service which we will learn and then we will uh, implement it with machine. एक बार आप इसको सीख जाओ कि assigned system assigned managed identity कैसे होती है, then उसको आप storage के साथ यूज कर लो, उसको virtual machine के साथ यूज कर लो, wherever you want, however you want, you can use that. Okay, backup, it's again same. It has nothing to do only with virtual machine. And then monitoring part again same. Advanced, we have covered this one. Any doubts, any questions here, guys? Right, I have given you one script कि आपको वो script run करनी है यहाँ पर whenever you're creating a machine. So firewall should be turned off. I had given a script to you guys and you had to select it here. So whenever a machine gets created, that will run automatically. Right? Tags, I have explained it in detail and this is it. So let's go back and search for a machine, or let's create one and then we'll see other options which are there in the left panel. What all options do we have? We'll go by them one by one and see. Okay. Unfortunately, today I'm also facing some problem with my account, but I'll figure it out later. That doesn't stop our practical. Our machine is ready. Let's go ahead, go to resource. Let's collapse all of these so we can go one by one. Obviously, we are not covering all of them. Overview, I hope this is clear to everyone. What all do you see in overview? Under overview, you'll see the resource group, running status, as in whichever status it is, the size of the machine, operating system, public IP, virtual network, DNS name, time the machine was created, tags, if you want to add tag, then properties of machine, that in 2022 or whatever operating system you have taken in Windows, which operating system have you taken, what is a RAM, what is CPU, right? All these details, what is a private IP, now public IP, private IP, we are going to see that later when we come to networking part. Which image are you using? 2016 we are using. Is it a part of availability? You can see it here also, but you can see it here also directly. Is it a part of any availability set, availability zone? Not. What are the disks which are assigned to this, right? Auto shutdown time again here, monitoring. All these things you see in overview. You have an option to connect, uh, restart, stop. Okay. Then next one is activity log. Activity log, again, I have completed this with you guys. It applies to all the resources, not only to virtual machine, right? who created this machine, who shut down the machine, who deleted the machine, everything. Now this machine won't have any activity log. I just created that. But if you have your resource, anything, you can go ahead and check. Maybe last 24 hours, last month, custom. Maximum you can go is up to 90 days. This is one of the interview questions. Yeah, so you can check the maximum you can go up to 90 days. So you can check who did what in this machine. किसी ने shut down manually कर दिया था, किसी ने कुछ install किया, uninstall किया, size को resize किया है, whatever you have done it. Understand one thing, guys. Here it is capturing the activity on the portal. If I log into this machine and create a temp file, a notepad file on the desktop, do you think that will be captured here?
No.
So I
No.
hope this is clear, right? This is confirming, or this is capturing your portal activities, not what your users are doing inside. If a client comes and tells you that uh, he created a file yesterday, or he sees a new file on the operating system desktop called new or temporary, and he feels that he has not done it and no one else should have access to his uh, account, no one else should have access to his machine, so he wants you to check the logs. What kind of logs can you check in this case? Can you help end to end? Can you help partially? What do you think you can do? He's saying that someone logged into his machine and created that file.
I think it should go to the Windows admin team. They should be able to help.
Okay. That is for file creation, but who connected to this machine, you will be able to see it from here. If I take RDP, a log will be generated here that someone took RDP using this one, using this ID or using that ID. That all you can tell them. कि यहाँ से RDP लिया गया था. That's all I can tell you. Nothing beyond that. Who created the machine, who created the file, what time, etc. That will go to again Windows team. So this is your activity log. Who someone changes your so someone changes the password from here, that will come again, come here. यहाँ से किसी ने password change कर दिया, ये जो आप लोग कर रहे होते हैं, ये करते हो यहाँ से, right? It will not go unwritten. If you do anything on the machine, it will capture somewhere. तो वो यहाँ पर आ जाएगा. Whatever you do, everything will be here under activity log. IAM, we all of us know by now, right? We don't. I'm not repeating this. All of us know what is it. Tags we have covered. Diagnose and solve problem. I have told you, please go ahead here, create your machine, go ahead and read it properly. It will give you scenarios, it will give you troubleshooting steps. It will help you a lot to prepare for your interview. Let's go ahead and talk about connect option. How many options do we have to connect to this machine? Once the machine is created, how many options do we have to connect? So first option is RDP. By the way, guys, public IP, it is just we are using public IP in training sessions. In your actual environment, you will never ever see a public IP on any machine or any resource unless it is specifically needed and it is a what do you say? It's a public facing machine or public facing website. You will never see a public IP on any machine, right? But now, because networking part is not covered, so you won't understand that a private IP can't be connected from our network, how to do that, what to do that. Hence, we are using public IP. Otherwise, you will never see it. Right? You will always connect to machine using private IPs. But as of now, we are taking public IP. So if we have to connect, we have an option called RDP. I open this. I open RDP. I can type RDP also. This software should come. This is by default in Windows operating system. You simply just paste your public IP, click on connect, and you should get the login ID and password window. Here it is. If I do that, I'll be able to log into machine. Similar thing, if I want to do, I can click on connect. There I did it manually. Here if I come, right, and if I download the RDP file, here it is. It downloaded the RDP file, and same thing is happening here. Look at this. Here. It is asking me, is user ID it has already used, and it is asking me password, right? User ID इसने pick कर लिया इस फाइल से आने का बस नाम. But again, it is RDP. You do it from there or you do it from here. Look at this file. It is RDP.rdp. Can you see? The file name is RDP. तो आप वहां से चले जाओ या यहाँ से कर लो. It's one and same thing. Is this part clear to everyone? There are more ways to connect. One is Bastion. Bastion we are going to cover once we have understanding of our networking, right? Then Windows Admin Center. It's a method to connect to your machine. It's a I can say it's a centralized panel जहाँ पर आपकी सारी machines दिखती है. Right? Again, you don't have to use it. You won't even see much in production environment. Right? Then you have native SSH, which means you can connect it from PuTTY or directly from PowerShell. You come here, यहाँ पर आके आपको कुछ कमांड्स रन करने पड़ते हैं, उस मशीन का यूजर आईडी पासवर्ड वगैरह देना पड़ता है, and then you will be connected on command line. So if you know a command line, then only we are going there. Otherwise, it's okay. We don't have to do it. Serial console, it's for troubleshooting. If you want to access some operating system file, etc. So basically, to connect, we are going to use this RDP or Bastion. Bastion is also called as jump server. But what is it? We are going to cover that later once we are there in our networking session. But it is very important. Don't forget it. People do ask questions on Bastion. That have you ever configured Bastion? Have you used Bastion? What are the benefits of Bastion? Or they also call it jump server. So Bastion and jump server, these are same things. So we are going to do that in detail. It's very simple, no rocket science, very simple. But we are going to do that later. Networking, obviously, with networking. Under settings, we have covered disk. If we want to remove disk, add disk, whatever you want to do. While creating the machine, if you had to do, we have seen that. After machine is created, if you want to do, so go to settings, click on disk, and this is what you will do. Got it? You can simply attach an existing disk. You can create a new disk, or if you want, you can detach a disk, or you can delete a disk. Is this part clear to everyone? Extension application we have already seen. Operating system, it is just giving you the details of the operating system. Configuration, leave it. Advisor recommendation, it's very basic thing. You will use this when your user says that I'm getting too much of bill, etc. This will advise you something. This will look at your machine and it will advise you not only monetary front, but it may advise you that okay, we have observed that your machine's port number 80 is open from last 2 months and you have not used it at all. So would you like to turn off the port 80? We have seen that you have taken a machine size of 8 GB RAM and 8 virtual CPU, but your last month's utilization shows that you are using only 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU. Would you like to resize your machine? This kind of advisors you get here. Recommendations you get, and then it is up to you whether you want to apply them or not. Is this part clear, guys, to everyone? Yes, no, maybe. Any doubts, any questions still here?
No questions
No,
for now,
doctor.
sir.
Then properties, same thing, whatever is there in overview. Then we have logs. But if we have only 3 minutes left in this session, once we are back, we are going to start with logs. And now, till now, we have been creating machine with no redundancy. Today, we'll start with availability zone and availability set. Okay, we'll start with logs, then availability zone. Log is very simple. It will hardly take 5 to 7 minutes. Then we'll go ahead and start creating machine with availability zone first and then availability set, or availability set first and zone, whichever works. And at the same time, we are going to cover availability virtual machine availability set or scale set, VMSS, right? So everything we are going to cover this part. And after that, security, again, we are not doing anything as of now. So these three things we are going to cover. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds left. If you guys have any doubts, any questions, please ask. If not, we'll start in the next session with this topic, logs. So any questions, any doubts, guys?
Just on the one, like if I will download the RDP file once, so I can use like multiple times to log in on the server, right? Every time I don't have to download the RDP files.
No, you'll have to download every time. Why? Because your
Okay.
IP
Okay.
can get changed in our environment, I'm saying. In our environment, you'll have to
Okay.
download
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Your public IP may get changed. The moment you shut down the machine and turn it on, your public IP may get changed. But if you're using it continuously, you haven't turned off your machine, then yes, you can.
Or in case of private IP, it will be
Then
there, right?
yes, you don't have to. Yeah. In
Okay,
case of private
okay.
IP, you can keep it. But again, there are multiple softwares in live environment which won't allow you to use it. It is only one time usable. When you use CyberArk, etc., it doesn't allow. But technically, you can.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, guys, we have 30 seconds left. Let me close the session. We'll take a break of 5 minutes. I have to check my account, right? And then we'll resume using the same link at 11:45, and we'll start with logs. See you guys in 5 minutes.